Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of The Joy of Building. Today we will be building a small village with a little river flowing through it. So let's get started, shall we? Just like we did in the last episode, we will start by building a bit of terrain. Nothing too fancy, but we'll need something for our river to flow through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm, just like last time, going to make a little plateau, if you will. And then we're going to have the other bank of our river start over here. And we want the river flowing kind of like this, and then we'll have a little waterfall at the end as well. So, first of all, we want to define the shape of our river. And I'm going to make it meander a little bit. Just make it flow wild and free. And I'm also making sure that I have enough space left for placing houses down because, as I said, I want to make a little village today. And I'm going to go a little bit inwards again. And then for the final bit I'm going outwards like that again. Alright, so I'll quickly fill in these two chunks of land and then I'll be right back and we'll see the results together. Alright, there we go. I'm quickly just changing it a little bit so it flows better. Sometimes you need to take a step back and look at what you've done and then you can go from there. So I want a river in between here and a waterfall at the end. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go down here a little bit and down here a little bit and then connect the two ends. And we'll kind of, let's make this the base of our river. And we'll follow this along the shape of the river as well. So that we can make the sides of the river. And then eventually lead up to the waterfall at the back over there. Alright. And just like the terrain we made last time, it's gonna be kind of steep, it's gonna be kind of a cliff. So we're just gonna use stone, we're not gonna use any grass over here. Well, near the top we're gonna do a little bit of grass like that, but nothing too fancy. It's just mostly gonna be straight down from where we start. Well, I say straight down, but I mean it's not gonna be too smooth, you know. So gonna need a bit more stone on this side. And then once we're done filling in the stone, we can move on. Oh, I should tell you guys, the area of land, the plot if you will, I'm working on is exactly 35 by 35 blocks. So if you want to build along, that's the size I'm going with. And I'm going with this size because of Um, well, I can say two reasons. Firstly, because it's just a nice size to work with, but also because my main server, the server that I usually play on when I'm playing multiplayer, uses plots that are this size, so that I can later, if I get the go-ahead from the server, I can upload the plots from the series to the server so that you can all check them out and come have a chat with us. We've got tons of good builders over there, and well, honestly, you learn the best building by having others give feedback on your builds. I've been playing Minecraft for however many years, and the best um, the best learning always comes from when others are giving you feedback. So um, that's good if you can get someone to help you with that. So let's continue our terrain. And again, just going roughly downwards, but not going exactly downwards is usually what you want to do. So that looks a little bit rugged. And I want a little bit of terrain going over here. I don't want my river to extend over there. So I'll raise up all this land by one block and I'll meet you guys back in a second. Alright, so I've raised up the land a little bit. And now we can continue with our build over here. Again, I want a little waterfall, so let's make it like that. And then let's make the land over here go down a bit as well. And then after that we can work on our village after we put the water in. So this goes pretty fast, but actually building something like this takes a lot more time than I'm showing on the video. Because a lot, and I mean over half the time of making a build like this is spent just planning out where you want everything to be. So for this series I'm planning out the builds beforehand, and then I'll build them on camera so that you guys don't have to see me fumble around, and you guys don't really see how long it takes me. But even so, just going out and building, you can get a lot done fairly quickly, to be honest. So a build like this, maybe it takes twice as long as the video length to build. You just have to, well, I suppose be confident in what you're doing, so you gotta plan it out first, and then once you start building, don't destroy something because it doesn't look exactly the way you want it. Just go with it, and well, as Bob Ross said, sometimes you make happy little accidents. You don't make mistakes. You can always change it later if you want to. But you don't need to spend too much time changing things around and If you just go with it, you'll get there eventually. So something like this. There's a block over there, I don't care. It happens, and it's a barrier block anyway, so no one's gonna see it. Alright, so let's fill in the water down here. And gonna keep it like that. I was maybe gonna put in one more layer, but I like this. And then let's put in water over here as well. Oop, forgot the barrier blocks over here. You don't really need the barrier blocks to keep the water in, but I just like it better that way. I'm going to do a little bit of a second layer of water, but I'm not gonna do it all the way. Because it's a river, it's gonna flow downwards, and then at the end it's gonna be a waterfall. So I think that should be good for our water. Let's put some grass a little bit like this and like this, so that it doesn't look too stiff, I suppose you could say. And one down there. And over there. Alright, so guess we'll have one more mountain to do. And I want a little bit of a cave running through here. So what I'll do is I'll start the terrain from here. And sometimes it's just easier to see how your terrain is supposed to flow when you're starting from one of the easier sites to start on. Because there's not a lot going on over here, it's just the usual, you know? It's just adding some stone, seeing where that takes you. The other side, if we want to do a cave over there, it's gonna be a little bit more planning, and we need to be careful about exactly what we're doing over there. Alright, so I suppose this could be the entrance to the cave, and then we can continue our terrain over here for now. Alright. Of course we need some cave walls, because we don't want to see all this empty space over here. No one's gonna want to see that. And as you can see, I'm just placing kind of randomly, but not really randomly. Like, I don't mind about a couple of stray blocks over in the back of the cave. Doesn't matter if it's perfect. As long as people don't really notice it's not perfect, it's all good. And yeah, I suppose we want to cover up the dirt roof. Don't want to have a dirt roof over here. And we can put the grass block one block down to make it a bit more natural again. And we're gonna want to have a way down. So we're gonna have our terrain branching off over here. And I want it to kind of run along the edge and then go off over here. And that's where our path can be. Gotta make sure we have enough space to put the half slab so you can run upstairs. You don't have to jump all the way. Alright, let's make this part of the terrain as well. Just add some more stone underneath again. Alright, so now it's time to plan out where our buildings are gonna be. Gonna have two main types of buildings. Also gonna have a little bit of a park or a garden. So our first type of house, or main type of house, I want one over here, and I'm just measuring it out right now where I want it to be exactly. And again, working with odd numbers in between. So for those having a hard time visualizing, these are gonna be the walls. And then gonna have an entrance over there. I want another little bit of a house over here. Again, odd numbers. And it's okay if it's on the edge over here. It's gonna look a little bit awkward once the grass turns to dirt. But that's okay. It's on the back of the plot anyway. No one's really gonna see it. Over here I want a little bit of a tower. So I'm just marking out the location. I'm not gonna build it yet. Oops. Want it over there. Gonna put some grass over there because it's gonna look a little bit odd if there's dirt underneath. Then I'm gonna have a bridge over here. Not gonna build a bridge yet. Just marking out the locations. So again, there's tons of planning when building something. And I want a little bit of a garden over here, so let's just place some leaves on the ground and we'll see where that brings us. Probably gonna add a little bench and maybe a tree in there. And then I want another house over here. Let's do a big one again. And there's space for one more house over here, so let's do that. Not a lot of space, but we'll make do with it. Let's move it back one more block so that we can kind of do some of that. And that's our planning phase done. Now what we're gonna do is, I think I'm going to build a bridge first. So I'm gonna want some of those slabs. I'm gonna want some stone bricks. Gonna want some, ooh, they're near the top, stone pillars. And I'm gonna want some of those slabs, I think. Again, I'm not entirely certain how I want it to look yet. Some building just happens on the spot. You can't plan everything out. Alright, so I wanted to kind of curve a little bit, but nothing too much. And then on this side we're gonna have more stairs. Alright, put some stairs underneath for support. Over here also. And there's the frame of our bridge done. Let's make this a bit lower. It's a bit high for my taste. And actually let's replace that with cobblestone slabs because it looks out of place. Not using the largest block variety in this bridge. Not yet anyway. Why not? I don't know. Just doesn't feel right, I suppose, the blocks I was using. And then we can do some of this. Put some sides on it. That way you don't fall in the water. Alright, wonderful. So let's start on the road. And I'm just picking and choosing what I want to do next or previously. It doesn't really matter what order you do things in. And again, I want to use gravel roads, so I'm gonna have to fill in the terrain. So if you'll give me a moment. Alright, the terrain is filled in, so let's connect all our houses with a little bit of a road. Of course, no terrain filling in over here, because it's only a small bit and it's not too far down, so I didn't bother. And I want to make this build running friendly, so you don't have to jump every time you want to go up a layer. You just run up. So we want our road to go over here. It's gonna be an entrance in the corner of the tower, I think. There's gonna be our little park connected to the bridge. And let's connect it down all the way, first of all. And I'm not gonna connect the road through here because it's gonna be like a little secret. Well, not secret because it's just it's right there. But it's gonna be a little what do you call it? It's not an official road, it's just gonna be there. And then I'm gonna have a door to this house over here. The door to this house is gonna be over here. So let's connect that like this. And I'm not filling in my roads entirely, like I'm just making it look a little bit random. Because I want it to kind of look a bit old. It's not gonna be like medieval old or It's not gonna be... Well, I suppose it would be medieval old. But this build is not gonna be kind of falling apart, you know? This is gonna be some fancy, nice looking houses. These are gonna be some expensive houses. So that's gonna be the door. And let's do a little bit of this. Doesn't change much, but it just adds a little bit of depth to the house, so it doesn't look so flat on the outside. Again. This pillar you can move outwards 1 block because it's just on a flat wall. And I want the building to be a bit taller in the back than in the front. And by a bit taller, I mean like twice as tall. Alright, let's make a little flat wall over there, and then we can put a window over here and over here. Another one of those fancy walls over here. And over here as well. Oh, what the heck. Let's use some cobblestone. Alright. Then going up, I think we should put some blocks over here. But not over here, because this one is going to be a tall window. Not that tall, that tall. Because it's still an old building. It's not going to be super modern, but it's not going to be... I'm having trouble with my words today. It's still gonna be a fancy house, you know, so tall windows. I need some half slabs for that. Alright. And you want to make it go over to the front a little bit. So that it looks a little bit nicer. Otherwise your wall will just be flat, and that's kind of boring if you ask me. Alright, and so for the back of the building I want a roof starting over here. Oops. And then let's just grab a block real quick so that we can just see how tall the building will be in the end. Alright. And then I'll quickly finish the roof and meet back with you guys. Alright, so that's the roof done. And I've already done it on that side, but I want to just fill this in with blanks. Not gonna do anything too fancy for this one. Or for any of the other ones, to be honest. But I just want to... I just want to have a bunch of houses, you know? Sometimes a bunch of houses looks better than one really good looking house. And then of course near the entrance as well. And if you're building this in survival, you might want to use some torches inside. You might want to put some chests inside, because of course you can keep your storage in these houses. And well, let's do another one. I'm making these pillars 3 blocks tall. I believe I did that on the other one as well. 3 blocks, yes. And then 1 layer of stone at the bottom, and then 2 layers of planks. Now sometimes you want to use 4 block tall pillars or 5 block tall pillars, whatever you want. Yes, you can do whatever you want. It's your world. So this one I'm gonna make a little bit brighter. I need to write stairs also. Let's do one of those over here. And because this one's 5 blocks wide, I can make a little bit of a larger window. I like doing that whenever I can, making a larger window. Alright. I'm not able to make this one go out because it's the side of my plot and I don't want to go outside of it. So let's not do that. It just doesn't really bother me. But of course, if you're playing single player, you have all the space in the world. Let's put another window over here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna grab some of these stone slabs. Gonna put 3 of them down. And we're gonna put flower pots over there. And what are we gonna put in them? Let's see. Let's just do a mix of these. Alright, and let's do our next roof. So, gonna start over here. Making it go over 1 block again. And again, I don't want to go over the side of my area of land, so not gonna do that. But you would have a row of stairs over here. And I don't want to go over so much because I want this bit to be 2 blocks taller. Not quite 3 blocks taller as the other house, but just a little bit taller. And I'm gonna put some logs over there. Just on the end bits. So that it looks like it's all nice and sturdy, the build. Alright, let's put in the slabs. And I'll meet back with you guys again once this roof is done as well. Alright, so just putting on the last couple blocks at the front over here. And then we've got another one of our little houses done. Just gonna fill in that bit and the bit at the back. And right now, I'm not really worried about these bits or how the interior looks. I'm mostly concerned about the shape of the houses because since this is gonna be an entire village, I don't really want to spend too much time on each specific house. Now, if I were doing this in survival and I was going to walk around all day long, I was going to spend more time on each specific house. But right now, don't really mind. I mean, as long as it looks cool, right? Alright, so let's go over to our second to last house. Let's spice it up a little bit, shall we? Let's use some polished andesite to go with the base of the floor, with the base of the house. And we're gonna use that on that one as well, I think. And let's use the oak again. Why not? Alright. This one's a little bit small, so I'm just gonna put in a little window over there. And a taller window over here. But nothing too special. Let's do another window over here. Not a tall one for there. And then let's start work on the roof already. I mean, it's a small one, so it goes pretty quickly. And once you're doing a bunch of houses in a row, all in the same style of build, you can start to get these houses done really quickly. So I'm doing one in, what, like a minute or so? Maybe not even. I'm not counting. In the video you can see how long it takes to do each one, but I'm guessing it's not very long to build each one. The only annoying bit really is placing the roof stairs, because I'm not doing anything fancy for the roofs on these houses. Maybe we'll do that in another episode, where we'll build a larger house with a bit more fancy of a roof. I think one thing that really helps already, like I'm not doing much to make these houses look amazing, but one thing that helps is having two different sections to the house with bits of roof that go different directions, if you know what I mean. So like this house, there's a bit of roof going that way and a bit of roof going that way. And that just helps tie it all together. Alright, and let's put in our windows. Where are they? And the door. And again, I'm not doing interior, so that's why I can get these down so quickly. And going on to the last one. Going to do another one with a base of andesite. And I think for this one I'm only going to make it one block higher, the back bit, so that we can see how much of a difference it really makes. Let's go with spruce wood and we'll... No, let's not. Let's do dark oak. Spruce wood would... spruce wood would... Spruce wood would blend in with the roof too much, so I don't want to do that. So that's why I've been using the lighter colors mostly. So now we can see what happens if we use a dark color for our house. And usually on your house you want the roof to be a darker color, but I'm not doing that for this one, just to see how it will turn out. I would not recommend doing this on your own build, to be honest. Maybe if you're really a big fan of dark oak, you can do it, but I'm not really the biggest fan of dark oak myself. Alright. Oops. So almost done. I guess I'll meet back with you once this last bit is done as well. Alright. Alright, just putting on the final couple slabs and then we're done with our houses. Once I put in the back and the window and actually there's a ton of things to do. Alright, the windows. There's one over there. Big one over here. Where else? Where else? Over there. And I just saw this bit. I forgot. Alright, and there's our 4 houses done. Now we're just gonna have to make a little bit of a park over here. So what I'm probably gonna do is just put some leaves down. And I want to have a bench over there and a bench over here. So there's a little bit of a path leading to those benches. And I want just something simple, just some birchwood stairs. And there we have our benches. And then in the corners I want some tall flowers. So let's put some roses over there and some lilac over there. And in between, let's put a big old tree. So you can sit under the shade in the little park. Alright, and let's put a whole bunch of leaves on here. And just like the terrain, it doesn't really matter if your tree is perfect, because no tree is perfect. Every tree is different, every tree is alive and it moves and blows in the wind. So there's no right or wrong way to make a tree as long as it looks alive, you know? And there's a ton of leaves on there, like that's a happy little tree over there. There's tons of leaves on there. That looks happy to me. Alright. And you know what? Let's make another tree. I want to make a simple little tree over here. Just a small guy. Nothing too fancy. And again, I'm not going over the edge of my land, so maybe it'll look odd to you, and maybe you're right. Just want that little bit of a tree over there. Just to fill up the space, you know? Alright. And now the bit I've been honestly dreading a little bit. I'm scared. I don't make these kinds of towers very often, so I guess it's kind of gonna be like a lighthouse. I would make a church over here, because it makes sense to have a church in a little village like this. But I don't really have the room to do that. Let's move this one backwards. Because I want to still have an entrance. And then afterwards the tower can go back to being this size. And let's put some stairs in like that. And like that. And this is not going to be a tower that you can climb up in. So I don't mind if the inside of the tower is filled with blocks. Like, I just want the outside of the tower look good. Yeah, whatever. Let's do it like that. Sometimes things don't work out exactly the way you planned them. Or sometimes you don't even plan your things, so things may look a little bit different than you want them to look. For me, this is one of those moments. I didn't really plan exactly how I wanted this tower to look. So I'm just going with whatever feels like the right block to place in each spot. And I think I want to have a bit of wood at the top, but I don't think this is gonna be the top yet. So maybe some cyan clay, like a little ring, and then let's have this. And let's put some stone brick in between each of them. And then let's put some wood up there. And let's put some logs right there, I think. And I know it looks awkward with the floating logs, but trust me, it's going to look okay in the end. Might not look the greatest, but hey, what can you do? So, like this, it's not floating anymore. And I want these to be 4 blocks tall. And I want some spruce fences to go around, so that you don't fall off, of course. Who would want to fall off of this? Yeah, let's connect it up like that. Why not? And then we're just gonna have to put a roof on there. And I think that one's also gonna be made out of spruce. And I don't want a flat roof, I want something fancy. So I want to go up like this and then up even more. I want to do the same on every side, because I want to have like a the word is escaping me. Like a little bit of a cone would be the right word. So something like that. but I want some stairs and stuff to make it look just a little bit better. So let's do that on all the sides. And then we can call it a day after we're done with that. And making shapes like this can be very tedious. Let's be honest. So the best way to make a shape like this is probably to make the cross section like I did first, and then making a circle around it, and then seeing where you would need extra blocks to finish it off. So I had stairs over there and believe over there. Yes. And then one more block, I think. Oh, yeah. And the half slab in the corner. And a little bit of that as well. And let's do that, just to finish it off. Alright. So, you could put a ladder in your tower if you want to. So, let's actually do that. Why not? So let's just do that, and then ladders over here. You're not gonna be able to fit a proper staircase in here, but hey, it's something. And again, I'm not gonna bother lighting up these houses because I'm just playing in creative mode. And, well, frankly, I don't really mind if it's a little bit dark. Let's just put a secret little bench over here. Not gonna be anything fancy. It's just gonna be someone's secret hiding place over there. There's a sign. Just someone's quiet reading place. Alright. So, there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Joy of Building. I hope you'll tune in again next week. And maybe build along sometime. It's a ton of fun to build like this. And well, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. Bye bye.